define and discuss data management systems, databases, and data. And think about their relationship. If we start with a database management system, we can think of this as a software that allows us to interact with the database. The icons here are for some of the most popular DBMSs today. There are many others. So let's go ahead and define users interact with the database management system, and the system is responsible for using the database and making sure all its guarantees are met. The software is very complicated, and thankfully, there are a number of vendors that already deal with it. If it manages a database, let's explore what a database is. A database is an organized collection of data. We are talking about electronic data, but with this definition, you can think of a file cabinet as a database where each drawer has folders, and each of these folders have files, and each of those files has specific data or values, and all of this data is related to one general theme. For example, patient records. While the cabinet model is a good way of oversimplifying databases, it has some limitations because our electronic databases can do much more than can be done in the physical world. In the next slide, we see different types of databases. These will all have different conceptual models and may be suited for very specific use cases. Database types. The relational database is one of the most popular databases. All of these database types, graph databases, hierarchical databases, network, object-oriented, NoSQL database, and others, have a specific purpose and may be used for their specific problem set, or how you would think about your world. In a lot of cases, you'll see that relational databases will be used even if you're sometimes even if your data is more of a graph database or more of an object oriented, and we'll talk a little bit about that at some point about why people use that. And I think one of it is because relational databases are so powerful, they can abstract away some of the differences that exist. Next, let's talk about data, right? So we talked about database management systems. We define databases. Now let's define data. Data, and it's a plural word, data are values collected, stored, and used. This can include numerical, textual, graphical, and relational values. We will think about data in these terms and then use a database that suits our needs and represent the data in any relationship with that model. Our DBMS will represent this data as much all software does into files and folders on our machines. This will be in a much more complicated way than our physical cabinets. Ultimately, all of our data is encoded in binary format, ones and zeros, when stored in our computer. While we don't have to worry about encoding and decoding this data, it is important for us to understand what it implies from a storage or processing standpoint. In the next slide, we look at a number of data types supported by the DBMS Postgres. This is a list of data types from Postgres taken from their website. We start with fairly simple and expected data types: numeric, monetary, character, binary, date, time. And then move to more specialized types that the DBMS can do more with. Each DBMS may support their own set of data types. So don't expect this list from Postgres to be supported in any other database management system, even less any other relational database management system. So we reviewed this from the top down, where we talked about database management systems, then databases, and then data. If we think about it from the bottom up, we have a world that contains values that we want to store and use. This represents our data. We use values to represent the world as we know it, and the one we want to model and organize in our database. We ultimately use a database management system to allow us to use this conceptual model of our world in a way where we do not have to worry about how to make all of this happen on a computer. I hope this gives you a sense of the relationships between DBMSs, databases, and data. Please leave any questions below and I'll happily answer them or reply with a new video. Thank you.